Okay, this is like take 15 or something. I'm really trying to fight with myself whether I put my face out here on here, but anyway. For everyone, hey, I'm John. Nice to meet you. I'm the face or the person that's behind HISSU. I'm developing a clothing brand called HISSU. HISSU in Japanese means essential, and that's what I'm trying to build and develop, is an essential clothing brand where we mainly do those designs that everyone uses every day, is going to reach for over and over and over again, and really try and change a lot of the fashion industry or the clothing industry. We don't need more brands, right? But if someone wants to start a brand, they're going to start a brand. So what I want to do though is I want to change it to a recycled clothing brand. So to produce blanks in certain designs that are nice, strong, durable, that are kind, that are good, that have a good back end, as well as good presentation. And so then that way, if someone wants to develop a brand, if there's a company or something that wants to do new uniforms, then they can get them from the right place. We're also looking at developing out a take-back program as well, and trying to make this as much as possible a circular brand. So everything that gets sold out comes back. Hopefully we can develop the technology if it's not already developed, and the clothing that comes back then gets turned into the new clothing, or if not, it gets put into something very close to it. That's the main idea behind the brand. Essential clothing, and then being able to try and close the loop and reduce the waste. Like I said, we don't really need another brand. But that's exactly it. That's why we focus on the essentials. It's not like, we're not going to be specifically in the crazy designs so that, that design's in this, this season, but it's out next season. We're hoping to try and create some staple designs that are reused for years and years and years. Maybe there's some small, product redesigns, but the majority of the design stays the same. The recycled material, though, is like the biggest part of it. But why is it the biggest part? Well, the amount of textile waste each year is absolutely ridiculous. Now, I'm quoting from a report I did a year or two ago now. I can't remember the exact amount, but Australians specifically, they buy approximately 50 kilograms of clothing per year, or fashion products, whatever you want to call them, per year. So that might be anything from socks and jocks to shorts, jeans and tops, to outerwear, to clothing accessory stuff like scarves and whatnot. That's per person. That's an average per person. In Australia, there's like 27, 28 million people, maybe 26 million people, right? That's times that by 50 kilograms. If you go that by 10 kilograms, that's 260 million kilograms of clothing that's purchased per year. right? So that's a big bit. And then I think it's somewhere around that 26 to 40 kilograms is discarded every year, whether it's sent to op shops or whether it's sent to landfill. And then once you get in and you actually break it down, now again, I'm quoting about numbers, not absolutes, as I can't remember exactly. I'm not a whiz kid like some people. When you send clothing to op shops, approximately only 15% of that gets sold. Approximately, remember, approximately. Approximately 30% of that gets sent to landfill. Approximately another 30% gets sent to be used as rags, either nationally or internationally. And then that leftover bit gets sent international to be used as fuel for furnaces for, companies in third world countries, essentially. Now that's from op shops. Just remember, what gets dropped off, about 15% gets sold or gets used in some way. The rest of it is either rags or fuel, or it's at the dump. That's why recycled materials are my specific need. Because if we can create some way where we can break that down, reuse it into something new, and go from there, then we're on a winner. We're on a better path than we've been on. And recycled materials are not new. Recycled cotton is probably the hardest one to try and recycle that back into something that feels like natural and new. Recycled polyester and nylon and that sort of stuff has been around for a while now, and you usually find it in board shorts and singlets and outerwear and stuff like that. So that's not something new, but it's something to use. So that's why the recycled materials means a bit more to me than it does. Obviously you need to have a profitable business, but at the same time, you need to have a reason. And my reason is to help others, to reduce landfill, to reduce any other type of waste. If we can reduce just a little bit of waste, you'd be surprised at how much it'll save us. So let's get in, let's do that. And look, let me ask you this. What do you think a perfect essential t-shirt should have? Should it have drop shoulders? Should it have a tighter neckline? Should it have maybe a little elastane in it so that it's got a bit of bounce, a bit of give? What do you think the perfect essential t-shirt should have in it? That has been conversations from the driver's seat as we build out HISSU, as you help build out HISSU. I'll see you in the next